Hello, everyone. We are live once again, or actually not live, but we are talking 30 parks in 30 days. My name is Mike Redman, alongside my partner, Darren Redman, my brother, and we are enjoying this series so much, where we take a quick little preview into the 2025 Major League Baseball season. And Darren, we're here to talk New York Yankees, which is a tough subject for us being New York Met fans, but we understand
the
lineage
we
of
the game, and yep, that's right.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to dive into it here. But before we do, Darren, would you mind just sharing a word from our sponsor at Nashville Tax Solutions?
Attention, Palm Bay and Fort Pierce. Are you struggling with tax issues? Whether you're behind on filings, dealing with a lien, or just need expert guidance, Nashville Tax Solutions here to help. Their team knows the ins and outs of tax relief, and they're ready to fight for you. But don't just take my word for it. Don't just take Mike's word for it. Listen to what some of the clients have emailed us or told us. For example, Chris Bennett and his team has saved me from a financial nightmare. They're knowledgeable, clear, and compassionate. So don't let tax troubles keep you up at night. Call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, because tax problems deserve real solutions.
All right. Well, thank you, Darren. And so let's get into the good stuff. We're talking about the 2025 New York Yankees. This is a team, when you look at if you actually look at their farm system, Darren, they're actually ranked 25th. So this is a team that you're like, okay, does that mean that they do not have much to look forward to? Not much there. Now, if you were to ask me this 20, 30, 15, 10 even years ago, I would say that's not a good sign. But this is a different Yankees team. While they do have their big names, whatnot, this is a team that is not afraid to bring their farm team up to the major league level and see what they got. They're not all about the big splash. Yes, they do make a splash here and there, but this is a team that's been more committed to developing their own players. So not so much concerned with that low ranking with them. So their top prospect outfielder, Jason Dominguez. But let's talk about them now, right? So let's look at this rotation, Darren. We have talent Marcus Stroman, who's actually on the outside looking in.
They're going to get rid of him. They're going to get rid of him.
Yeah, I think he's going to be gone before the season starts. I think we'll get a lot of looks at him in spring training and see which team takes. And it's always good to have that extra guy, but Marcus has made it clear that he's not a bullpen pitcher. So
he's not a team player. He's just not.
He's not. So hit the bricks. But it seems like he's not the guy. But let's look at who are on this team. So we look at a rotation, Darren, led by Garrett Cole and Max Fried. That is a scary 1-2 punch. I can't think of another team that's got maybe outside in the American League that is that powerful of a 1-2 punch. But talk a little bit real quick about Max Fried for those that are coming from Atlanta. That's a huge pickup. And to me, may seem crazy. Juan Soto is a great ball player, and I know it's a different position, but I think that took the sting away of losing Soto, getting a talent such as Max Fried.
And if I can be totally selfish as a Met fan, and you probably know where I'm going, I love the fact that we got Juan Soto, and I love the fact that I don't have to face Max Fried except when I play the Yankees. Max Fried would cost the Braves, 8 wins this year because he's now with the Yankees. He is filthy. He's coming back from injury. And Garrett Cole is a warrior. And I love that he took his arbitration year, or whatever you want to call it. He didn't go to free agency because he's a Yankee. And he knows that this is his team now. And he's very comfortable. He can play. Listen, Houston is not a big city, but it's pretty damn big. They know their sports. Garrett Cole is a Yankee. He's prime time. He knows how to be here, the sensibilities. And now Max Fried, and I think you really were so eloquent in what you said. I think that they are the top one. Take the Dodgers bullpen, Dodgers rotation 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Well, use the Kershaw at 6. But 1-2, short series, look out, because you got some filthy throwers throwing for the Yankees.
Yes, we got Carlos Rodon and Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt. rounding out the rest of that rotation. So it's an awesome rotation. But I want to chat a little bit about that lineup, Darren. Like, my goodness, we talked about the top prospect, Jason Dominguez. Looks like he might be projected as the leadoff hitter for the Yankees. But what do you just looking at their projected lineup? What stands out to you this year in that lineup? Obviously, no more Juan Soto, but what do you like about this lineup?
Well, I like moving Jazz Chisholm to second base, because he was doing some outfield, he was doing some center field, some other things. I think that's where he belongs. I think Volpe will improve at shortstop. I think they are weak at catcher. I think Austin Wells is good, but he's not a defensive stud right now. But in terms of lineup, you got Cody Bellinger batting third, playing center field. This team is really rounding into form. Look, you got, Paul Goldschmidt playing first base. Replacing Anthony Rizzo. They've done a really good job of moving on from Juan Soto.
Yeah, with Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt, two big additions there. We're talking about additions, but let's look at those some subtractions out there for the Yankees. Obviously, they lost Juan Soto. Gleyber Torres, Clay Holmes now with the Mets.
That's going to be
Nestor Cortez with left-handed pitcher. So some big names there.
Go ahead.
So some big subtractions there, but they think they have just enough additions. Some names we didn't talk about: right-hand pitcher Devin Williams. I mean, unfortunately, his name's synonymous with giving up that big 3-run home run to Pete Alonso this past season. This past postseason looked like that game was in the bag for the Brewers. But so he's now with the Yankees.
Yep. But now a couple of things. Now here is the big kryptonite, in my opinion, for the Yankees. And we saw a little bit of it when they played the Mets a couple times. They're thin. They don't have a deep team. So they have a lot of wonderful frontline players. But Goldschmidt goes down, who's playing first? You know what I'm saying? Volpe goes down, who's playing short? They are thin. So, and they can't afford, and I hate to say what I'm about to say, but I have to give pure analysis here. I'm not a load management guy, but they're going to have to do some load management this year. They have to stay healthy because they are thin.
And so again, like, they can't afford to have those injuries, especially DJ LeMahieu. Sitting there at the bottom of that lineup. They need these guys to stay healthy. That's going to be key for them to success. This is a team that is going to be very good. Let's ask the best question now. It's easy to just say, okay, the same teams insert here. Are the Yankees the cream of the crop of the AL East, or is a new team perhaps going to surpass them this year?
I think they are the cream of the crop of the AL East, the AL Central. No, look, it's them in Houston and everybody else. I truly believe that.
So I think it's easy to say that teams like Toronto and Boston are going to be better, but I think if you are putting them in that one spot, meaning Toronto or Boston, I think you're being a little bit too much. I think you're setting your expectations too high. Could it happen? Yes. Would it be shocking? No. But to me, and I know you can't be a paper team, but the Yankees showed last year how dominant they can be, and it wasn't just a Soto show all the time. So I feel like this team is primed for. I don't know if necessarily they'll be better than they were last year. I could still see them winning the division in 92 wins, 91 wins compared to the 94. But we shall see.
Now, let me ask you this. Take your Met glasses off for a second. This has to do with the Yankees. And this is no shade on the Yankees. Who do you think played the Dodgers tougher? The Mets in the division championship series, or the Yankees in the World Series?
That's an excellent question. I still think you'd have to go with the Yankees there, just because with the Mets played them very well, but the games they lost were blowouts, and the games they won were good. But they lost 4 games were blowouts out of all their losses. I don't think there was a single close game loss, if I'm not mistaken. So what about
the Yankees? No, yeah, I think you hit on the head as always. I mean, you're very good at what we do. I think the Yankees pitching got better, and I think
Yep.
that that's the difference right now. I
Yep.
think playing the Dodgers because, listen, I think it's the Mets Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. I'm not jumping ahead. And I think the Yankees against somebody, and I think the Yankees go back to the World Series. It's do they have enough to get past the Mets or the Dodgers?
Right. And as a sports fan, you don't want to see, necessarily see, same this team versus that team. But right now, you have to look at it without blinders on and go, it's Yankees, Mets, and Dodgers. And if
Yep.
anyone were to surpass them, it's going to take a whole lot. Could it be Atlanta? Sure, they have a team. Could it be Texas Rangers, who seem to have a big down drop off last year, but they have improved immensely? Yes, it could be. Houston could be. I know that they had some losses as well, but there's still some teams that are close. But I think the Yankees will be there in the end. I agree as a representative for the American League. There's going to be some teams that really push on them a little bit, and there's a team we're probably not thinking of that's going to have a tremendous season. But at the end of the day, Yankees are now. This is the current roster. Yankees. If they go down, they lose 2 starting pitching, and the starters, like you said, they're getting deep into that AAA core guys. Then yes, they're not going to finish where we expect them to do. But as of right now, they are a World Series contending team. We think very highly of the Yankees, and hopefully, I think it's. I would love to see another Yankees-Mets series, specifically because the Mets have owned the Yankees here over the last 5 to 6 years. So
yes,
definitely would like to see that.
I love everything about that.
Yeah. So closing thoughts, Darren. 2025 Yankees.
Seems 2025 like Yankees. Page. Yep. You have to balance rest for that lineup, keep them away from injuries. Because it's going to be listen, the Orioles, I think, take a little bit of a step back, but they're still a very good team. I think the Rays, have improved. I think you can't sleep on the Rays. We know that. But I think the Jays have gotten better. The Red Sox have gotten better. It's going to be tough. There are no gimme games. It's not like you're playing the White Sox a lot. It's just not. So, nope. But I think the Yankees get through.
Yes, definitely. So, with that said, I echo that, and I said maybe a couple wins less than last year, but still the top of the top. So, thanks each of you guys for watching. We've enjoyed this series, and we've got so much more content coming your way. So, continue to support us, National Tax Solutions, and until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.